ऑल राइट बच्चों, ठीक है। तो वी शुड मूव फॉरवर्ड, आगे बढ़ना चाहिए हमें। तो देखते हैं आगे क्या है। Okay, now in this topic, we'll see whether the compound is an ionic compound or a simple molecule. So here we will study the giant lattice structure of ionic compounds, and in terms of structure, we will deduce the properties of an ionic compound, and we will explain in terms of structure and bonding the properties of simple molecular compounds. So we know that ionic structures have high melting and boiling points. Why? And they only conduct electricity when molten or in aqueous solution. This is actually the information. It is a knowledge. We will see that why the melting and boiling points are high, and the why ionic compounds conduct electricity when they are molten. It means in melted form, or in aqueous solution means it's soluble in water when dissolved in water. On the other hand, simple molecular structures have low melting point, boiling point, and they do not conduct electricity in any physical state. In any physical state, as you can see above, ionic structures can conduct electricity when molten or in aqueous form, but cannot in solid form. And simple molecular structure compounds do not conduct electricity in any physical state, and they have low melting and boiling point. It is I'm talking about simple molecular structures, not the giant macromolecular structures. Okay. The key skill, you need to be able to recognize values of physical properties such as melting point as being relatively high or low. For example, 700 degrees centigrade is a high melting point, but 100 degrees centigrade is a relatively low melting point. So we must know that which temperature is low and which temperature is high. So here's a worked example. Compound A melts at 37 degrees centigrade. Are you with me, bacho? All right. So compound A melts at 37 degrees centigrade, which is quite low temperature. And compound B does not conduct electricity when solid. Hmm. It seems that it is an ionic compound because it doesn't conduct electricity when solid, but conduct electricity when dissolved in water. Yes, it is an indication towards the ionic compound. And a compound A reflects low melting point. It must be an ionic. It must be a covalent bond, covalent compound. So we have to describe the structure of compounds A and B and give one other physical properties of A and B, which is already mentioned. So we can deduce that compound A is a simple molecular structure because of low melting point, and B is an ionic structure because it conducts electricity when dissolved in water but not in solid. Okay, then it was required that we have to give another other physical property. Like A, it is mentioned that it has a low melting point, so other should be it is a poor electrical conductor because it is a simple molecule. And B, the electricity conduction is mentioned that it is a bad conductor, poor conductor of electricity when solid. So we have to mention something else like it is an ionic compound, so it has a high melting point. Clear, बच्चों? Any problem? All right. Another exam tip we have to watch out that make sure you don't muddle the structure of bonding. Structure is about arrangement of particles, and bonding is about how they are joined together. These are two different things. Remember that compounds of group 1 or group 2 metals with group 7 or group 7 elements with group 6 or group 7 elements are likely to be ionic compound. Yes, this is the most important tip, that because let me tell you something about ionic bond, which which will increase your knowledge understanding regarding ionic compound, that it is actually the electrostatic force of attraction between two opposite charges. If we have ionic compound from group 3 or 3 or 5, so why they are not come in the category of actual ionic compound? Because you will find some covalent, you can say, covalent means of, uh, you can say, the bonding in ionic compound. Because if you are taking those elements which are very far from each other in group wise, like group 1 and group 7, so group 7 members can pull that electron from the metal very easily and very powerfully. So, so as per the definition of ionic bond, it is a bond which is formed by losing or gaining of electron. So here you will find the true meaning of losing and gaining. But when will you come in the middle, like group 3 and 5, you will not find this true meaning, because it is very, all the metals of group 3 will not lose their electron very easily. And obviously group 5 members are not that much powerful as group 7 are. So there will be difficulty in losing or gaining of electrons, so they will not be considered as true ionic compounds. A covalent character will be involved in those type of compounds. So that is why they are mentioning here the group 1 and 2 metals with group 6 and 7 are likely to be ionic compounds. Understood? All right. Janab, you said no, sir. What was that about? All right. So I'm moving forward on the basis of the knowledge I provided to you. Please apply your knowledge on question number 4. No need to write. No need to write on your paper and send it on the WhatsApp. Just type the answers in the in-call messages. Like A is ionic compound, B is X, Y, Z. Please proceed.